that extra bit of seasoning. You know when you put your finger in the pot just to see how it's tasting so far. Right, I need to wash my hand. Welcome to Agents of S.C.R.E.E.N, the first and the only place for movie reviews live at the cinema. I am your boy Miles, aka the dark-skinned Enrique Iglesias, and I'm here to bring to you yet another spoiler-free review. This time is for the Netflix film The Old Guard. It is directed by Gina Pryce Bythewood, who also directed Secret Life of Bees and also directed Love and Basketball. I'm sure you've seen that movie. It's also starring Charlize, Theron and Kiki, Layne, who you may know from If Beale Street Could Talk. This film was actually based on a comic book, but the premise for it is a group of mercenaries, all centuries-old immortals, with the ability to heal themselves, discover someone is onto their secret, and they must now protect their freedom, their abilities, and their secret. But I'm going to tell you what I liked, what I didn't like, and my score out of 10. You know the drill already. But briefly before we get started, make sure you like, share, and hit that subscribe button, please. And if you like our content, make sure to check out the rest too. We have bare stuff on there: anime, movies, music, rete, all of that. But what did I like about this movie? I think the thing I liked the most about this movie is the layers that they gave to the story and the characters. The backstory for each of the characters was interesting enough that you'd want to know more, and the layers that they gave the characters, seeing that they were immortal, they told it from an angle I haven't seen before, to be honest with you. And they really give you an insight and into the thought process of what it would be like to be an immortal, the pros and cons, the mental state, the joys, the despair. Speaking of immortal, Kiki, Layne plays a character called Nile. In real life, and I had to Google this, she is 28 years old. She could pass for 18, fam. Is she a real life immortal? We'll have to do some Googles, because fam, I know they say black don't crack, but god damn! If I was to ever meet her in real life, my first question to her, very first, is, Queen, what is your skincare routine? I need to know that. But in terms of characters, my favourite in the movie were a couple amongst the immortals. I won't say who they are, what gender they are, whatever, but I think I enjoyed their scenes the most. Something else I really enjoyed was the action. I thought the action was decent. Nothing to write home about. It wasn't on the par of like an Extraction or even a John Wick, which is like the pinnacle. And as I say time and time again, in an action film, I'm looking for one or two things. I'm either looking for them to do something I've seen before in a way that I've never seen it before, or just show me something I've never seen before. In that, I did not get that. However, I do applaud the actors because there seemed to be very little stunt work. The actors seem to like throw themselves into it, do the action, and that, especially in an action movie, that helps a lot. It allows you to get very close camera shots. It allows you to film scenes without cutting. I applaud that, and it definitely helped in this sense. And I know everyone's not Tom Cruise. Everyone doesn't just do their own stunts. However, it does give that little oomph that you need. That extra bit of seasoning. You know when you put your finger in the pot just to see how it's tasting so far. Right, I need to wash my hand. I might need to wash my hand, but it gives it that extra oomph. Also, something that was nice to see was a little cameo from Michael Ward, who you may know from Blue Story, Top Boy, etc. Anytime you see any young black UK talent, his gun fingers in it every single time. Let's get on to my dislikes now. I thought the premise was good, had a lot of potential, but the execution wasn't quite there for me. The writing was very silly at times, ridiculous even. Like the characters' motivations, it just wasn't believable, didn't grab me. Every time a character would do something or say something, I'd be like, why? This is really stupid. And speaking of stupid, the villain, oh my god, the villain was abysmal. The villain came across very dated, very cartoonish, and I know this is based on a comic book. However, the tone for this movie was quite serious, but because of the villain, it took me out of the movie completely. It was just parody-ish at times. Also, I don't know what the budget for this film was, but it seemed like it was low budget. And whenever you can pick that up in a film, I don't think that is a good thing. For example, the musical choices they used to score certain scenes, it seemed very out of place. Again, took me out of the film. Or even, as I said, this is a story about immortals who are centuries old, and sometimes they have to use very old pictures and superimpose the actors' faces on historical pictures that happened like hundreds of years ago, and you could tell, I'm not supposed to be able to tell, like I think like some of the ones I saw, I think on Photoshop I could do a better job. Little things, little details that seemed glaring because of how badly done it was. But I'm gonna round things up. Before I watched this film, I saw on Twitter it was getting overwhelming reviews saying, oh my god, I enjoyed this so much. Best film I've seen in so many years. And what I would say is that Twitter definitely lied. I don't think it was a bad film. I thought it was decent, but forgettable. So that being said, my score for The Old Guard is a 6 out of 10. But let's have a dialogue. If you're one of those people that really enjoyed this film, let's talk about it. Put the comments down below as always and let me know what you thought of the film. But as always, I have been your boy Miles. We have been the Agents of S.C.R.E.E.N. and until the next video, which will be coming extremely soon, peace.